We're the same team. You're kind of
One team. All right. What's up, everybody? My name's Clayton Filipovich, and I'm joined by
Gus Light
and
Paul Ochoa
and
Remington Hall
and
Dom Helton.
I really don't know what to lead with, so
Let's start it off. Let's do it.
Well, let's do this. So you guys know Gus Light. He's a combat camera dude out of the Pentagones. But he's also brought a couple of friends along with him. Now over here is Paul. Paul is also a combat camera. And then to my left is Dom. Dom is also combat camera. But Remington Hall was actually my boot at Public Affairs.
the enemy.
So if you guys don't know, I get these questions all the time. Combat camera and Public Affairs are two completely separate MOSs.
Not for long.
But not for long.
First topic. Let's get right into it.
Gus, tell us about that. Tell us about that combat camera Public Affairs merger.
Well, it's not a merger, for one thing. It's a realignment.
Oh, my.
And it's highly classified, so I can't speak more on it.
Is it really classified? I was going to say, well, okay,
classified.
so basically the gist of it is that they're merging the two MOSs because somebody was like, oh, hey, they're pretty much the same thing. Really, the only difference between combat camera and Public Affairs, besides the amazing quality of work that Public Affairs does, just kidding. Yeah, okay.
Oh, maybe they get paid to go on Facebook.
Captain America, Civil War, right?
But so okay, the low-down gist of it. There's a bunch of things, but the main thing is combat camera is mainly for documentation purposes, while Public Affairs is just that. It's public relations. It's outreach. Your photos, video, social media, that stuff gets released. Whereas for combat camera, typically
It's internal.
Yeah. So yeah, combat camera, Public Affairs, two different MOSs going to become one because they really do have very similar missions.
Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, in the ring. Let's go.
Let's go. Remington Hall, how's things going over there? Remington, if you guys don't know, I mean, one cardinal rule of being a social media manager is you don't talk about being a social media manager, but we're going to break that rule right now. So Remy, and yes, his real name is Remington.
Sexy, isn't it?
It's sexy.
Remington
Yeah.
Steel?
He's got a chiseled 12-pack, and
Some take a
I
shirt
kind of
off
want
in
to
the
fuck
shower.
him right now. Just like, I haven't been homosexual, but goddamn.
The
looking at
female's perfect amount of like facial hair going on too.
yeah, really, really, really great stuff. So Remington, how's things going over there with the Marine social media team? How's life over there?
I would say good, but we're very short-handed.
As is everybody in the Marine Corps, I suppose. but
Yeah.
that's a lot. I mean,
actually
there's a
saw
lot
her
that
this
goes into
morning.
that.
Yeah, I got you, man. Teach.
Preach.
About it.
There's a lot that goes into social media, more than you think. A lot of people are like, even at my job, they're like, oh, he just plays on Facebook all day. I'm like, no, it's really not that at all. But, yeah, there's just a lot that goes into it. If you guys want to check out more cool videos, go to youtube.com/Marines. If you want to check out sweet content.
This podcast brought to you by the United States Marine
Sponsored
Corps.
by
Hoorah, motherfucker.
To the proud.
I got some
Can you please
websites
say
if you guys
that?
really want to go. Can't talk about them here, though. Hey, I'm just saying.
But yes, so a lot of that's where I worked prior to getting out of the Marine Corps. That's where I worked, was with Remington at Marine social media. A lot of you guys are going to ask a lot of questions. Many of them can be found either on Google or the Marines YouTube or Facebook. So do that. So we're going to move on a little bit. I got a message yesterday, I guess last night actually, from a dude who's worried because he just got into a relationship. He's going to boot camp. Oh no, right?
End it.
So that's what we're gonna. Well, let's talk about that. So we're gonna work our way down to basically throughout the whole scope of relationships in the military, specifically relationships in the Marine Corps. So a very, very popular social media platform is Tinder. So of us all here at the table, I guess 4 or 5 of us have Tinder profiles.
Oh,
Prove
God,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, can't prove it. Yeah, he goes under a different alias or something.
If you're ever in Arlington, Virginia, and you see Dominic Helton, you better just hit me up.
There you go. But you better have a good pickup line, though.
True.
True. What are you guys? What are some of your pickup lines on Tinder? Do you have any?
I don't think I have any.
I have one.
I go back and forth, like depending on how just pissed off I am. Sometimes I'll just be a jerk, be like, "Yo, what's up, bitch?"
You just angry Tinder? That's what you do.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah, actually, let me just.
Report up the Tinder.
Yeah, I haven't honestly been using it that lately. 'Cause I've been talking to someone.
Somebody stole my identity on Tinder.
Really?
Sure,
Yeah,
sure
Oh
they did.
man.
Yeah, sure they did. Yeah,
Because
that's
they
why-
wanted a
that's
big
why I
old
said to Maria
beefcake.
that-
Oh yeah.
So like, I open up my Facebook and there's like a ton of messages, of archived messages of like that extra inbox in Facebook, and everybody's like, "Hey, you never hit me back. I sent you
Yeah.
this," and then like the person's like getting money from people somehow through Tinder.
Oh
Like,
God.
they Western Union it to them and stuff like that.
They're whoring your face.
Yeah, pretty much.
Your beautiful face.
My
Oh my
beautiful
God.
face. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
so.
personally for me, I don't really have a pickup line. It's just more of things to kind of balance out the fact that I'm black in DC. Like, hey,
Dude,
girl, I got good credit. I have a savings and a plan for my future, and I've been to college. You know,
I've
I
been a
kind of have my
steady
degree.
paycheck.
Yeah.
If we're doing pickup lines, I think my like description or whatever is like the descriptions are great. Like if you're on Tinder and you're not reading every description on there, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Okay.
Because I decided to put mine as I have a huge personality and I'm starting at my rap career. Which it's just something funny because like
But I could take
Like,
that
I
seriously.
can't-
If I'm a
like-
girl reading that, I'd be like, "Oh, that's starting his rap career."
He's like Lil
well,
Dicky.
well, I hope they don't think my rap career is actually going anywhere because they'll be disappointed. But like I think it's like because no one really reads them, but when you do, they're supposed to be funny because like what are you gonna like say? I don't like talking about myself, and I feel like a lot of people are the same way. They don't like oh well I like to do this. Because everyone, like every fucking profile I read is like, I love adventure and dogs and
Right.
the outdoors. It's
And
like
Netflix.
I was like,
And
Gandalf would have a like field day on Tinder. He's like, oh, I need to go somewhere to steal the Arkenstone. Look at all these people ready to have an adventure. All these fucking white bitches.
Every sorority girl in the DC
They
area.
love
I
adventures.
love Netflix, but not chilling though.
Hashtag basic.
I just want Netflix.
Yeah, and then like
Yeah,
all the
it's Netflix. That's
yeah.
all it is.
And then all the ugly ones are like not looking for a hookup, and I'm like, neither am I.
Paul, do you have any,
Let's lie to
pickup
ourselves.
lines or anything like that?
I do. I'm not gonna lie with you guys. I have not really so much a pickup line. I start off with a joke. What is a pirate's favorite letter? Right? What is a pirate's favorite letter? And you guys got any
R.
guess? R. You would think so, right? You would think it'd be R, but his true love be the sea. And either they say yes or no, and
You got
we
me
go from
hooked,
there.
Brought to
I
you
got
by
you.
Captain Jack Sparrow over here.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, so Tinder is Tinder. So okay, obviously super popular among our generation. Pretty much just a hookup app. I mean, I do know people that have gotten even married from Tinder. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, we've heard
Yeah.
a couple cases.
Okay, so my question then is Tinder a good way if you're in the military to get a good relationship?
I mean,
Wow.
it depends on the kind of judge of character you are, because, like, well, let's talk. Like, I would feel like I've never been stationed in like Camp Lejeune, but I feel like there's a lot of people. Like, I've even here seen like wives of people in the military. They have pictures of like their wedding, like, and their child with their husband, like in
What?
camis.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like just looking for some side fun.
Oh my
And like I'm
God.
thinking some of them are kind of jokes.
No, I've seen those too. I
But,
do
but there's
actually
way too
know-
many for that they're all jokes.
No,
so I feel like there are some.
Not that I've seen it, but I've heard of that because I know somebody in particular. I won't say their name. Does that
It was me,
in the
and it's not a
military.
joke.
I've actually seen one of the Marines that I've worked with, his wife on Tinder.
Oh my God.
I'm chilling in the middle of the woods, filming some stuff and just swiping right and all that. And boom, there's my friend's wife.
Oh my
their
God.
beautiful relationship of all of like a year maybe.
So it sounds more like a cheating app. Not that it's a cheating app, but it's like it seems like people are more inclined to either cheat or do that, whole swinger thing.
Yeah, but
Oh,
also
swinger's
like a
still a
lot
term.
of people like use it kind of like
To find
they'll
love,
say it's for fun, but it is kind of fun to get on Tinder and just see like the ridiculous things you can do, and maybe like if you're an asshole, like be mean to some people. But like I'm sure a lot of people do that too. So like it's
Isn't that
not,
kind of like a waste of your time? I mean, like, and I would assume
waste
it'd
of
be
time
like
2016? No.
All day.
really time consuming, right? Because if
No,
you're
it's
still-
actually like one of the beauties of Tinder is like you can sign up through Facebook, so you hit one button and then bam, you're like it doesn't take like you don't have to answer questions, so you're automatically on there. That's like why it's so popular.
You've like literally been rejected by 60 girls in less than 1 minute. It's amazing.
But at least you'll never know about it, so that's
Yeah.
good.
That's true. That's
They
So-
never know.
As far as Tinder being time consuming, when I first got it, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It was like summer of last year, and like I was really religious with it, and like I chatted up a bunch of chicks, and then like I almost met this one chick, didn't work out, and then ever since then it's like just been something I use, like, oh, I'm waiting on somebody in the parking lot, oh, I'm waiting to do this, and I like swipe for 10 seconds and then I'm done.
It's interesting. Maybe it's dying out. I don't know. So you kind of
Yeah,
brought
'cause
up a good
they all
point.
got married. Like, all
Oh, yeah?
Getting wiped up. It's such an efficient
Get that
app.
BAH, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. So you're kind of describing a dependa or a dependapotamus. What
the rare
is?
and elusive.
Yes. So,
Oh, they're not rare or elusive. They're actually everywhere.
Dom, can you describe to us what a dependapotamus is?
The dependapotamus. Oh man,
Like, scientific name.
I've done studies on these. I have countless field notes. The dependapotamus is the woman who has the ins to know that military personnel have many great benefits and will marry and pretend to love even, specifically for those things, which is hilarious because the young...
Oh, I thought of a
Boot.
scientific name.
Oh yeah?
Overweightus tricarius.
Overweight.
Except my BAH and Tricare girl. But they also know how to psychologically manipulate the young boot in that they like to get in a relationship for 3 to 4 months and instantly marry a girl. I don't know why. I'm still, trying to discover this one, but that's basically what it is.
You're talking about someone we know. I feel.
Well, no, it's a common thing. Not just my boot who literally got married over a weekend, and
Oh,
I
get outta
felt,
here.
yeah, I find out Monday morning, and I'm like, oh,
What the hell?
Jeebus.
Oh, jeebus.
I didn't even know he had a girlfriend, to be honest. Like, I get back from leave, he's like, I got married. I'm like, haha. Like, I get back from leave, jokes, everything went
Is he a
wrong.
Marine or is he?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Yeah, I
he
got married. I
won't
was like,
got
wait, you're not
married.
joking?
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I guess that your quality of life will increase for that, like maybe 3 years you have left on contract, but you kind of have to think long term a little bit.
Oh yeah. No, these kids don't. They
Yeah.
really don't.
Don't care.
So that's the threat of a dependa. That's the thing. You get in the Marine Corps, life is hard. Barracks life can be a little rough. You got to do the daily grind of work, and then all of a sudden, you meet this sweet 400-pound gal, and if you marry her, you get extra money, you get a house, you get like all these extra things. Like life kind of goes back to normal for you almost, or seemingly.
Or you feel like an
Yeah.
adult for once in your life.
Yeah, you feel like an adult. So here's the thing: the Marine Corps almost forces you, in a way, to get married. For a lot of people, that's why everybody's like, "Why do military people marry so young?" Well, it's because there's like a ton of benefits associated with getting married. That's kind of a thing.
Yeah, and taking it from a less someone who's just trying to steal benefits to a like normal. Oh, I have a girlfriend, like for a year. Oh yeah, like I've known her for a year, but do you really know someone after a year?
Right.
When if you marry him, you're planning on living the rest of
O.J.
your life with him.
Simpson. Yep.
Right.
Well, I wasn't
that's
gonna no, but like
interesting.
yeah, because like you can have someone who like you think you know, and I'm not saying that person's gonna like betray you, but still you make a very rash decision on and based off a year out of the like 85 years
you
of your
gotta
life.
live, right? Yeah.
Like,
Well,
yeah,
that's the thing.
there's a lot of time left, and you're like, I'm 21. I'll probably never meet anyone else more interesting in my life.
I'm gonna settle
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna settle
at
here.
the bottom of the cesspool. Why not?
And even if it's like someone like you do enjoy like spending time with, but like getting married, like you're only 21. Like,
It's very
deep,
that's
like-
very true. Like for example,
You
you
got a lot
can
of
know
life to live.
somebody for 8 years and only be like boyfriend and girlfriend, right? But to the Marine Corps, that don't mean shit. But you can meet somebody for a week and get married and like, here's money, here's health insurance, here's a house, blah blah blah. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the problem is that they're like too worried about like the Marine Corps like fucking them over, screwing them over, right? When the problem is they don't understand that marriage is the biggest screw over of all time, Because at least with the Marine Corps, you get out after a certain amount of time, right?
There's a lot of so you gotta keep in mind people at home listening.
That's it.
People at home listening do realize that there are 4 of the 5 people here are not married, so there are definitely varying opinions on marriage. Like it's like I would agree with you.
not hating on
99% of
marriage,
the
okay.
time, if you get married at a very young age, you're probably
You don't know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not. Let me take that back.
hey Paul, he's married. I'm letting you
There's a
know
certain level of
before you talk too
What
much
I'm
shit and he
saying,
gets
no,
mad.
What I'm
No,
saying,
it's
though,
good, it's good.
What I'm saying, I'm not bashing on marriage. I'm lucky to come from a good home. My parents both married, very happy. Like they waited 5 years before they got married. My mother gave my father an ultimatum. She said, "You either marry me or I'm leaving." He's like, "Oh, you're pretty cool." 2 years later, I was born. It is what it is. it's not a bad thing, but for the most part, people see it as an escape. Like,
Right.
oh, this is a better way to go, but causes more problems, like
It
more
can.
issues.
It can. Well, in my opinion, okay, so there's a certain level of maturity you have to have.
Of course.
There's a certain level of like, for example, I've known Miranda since pre-middle school, like years.
You have to be ready to get married. Is what I'm saying. Though it's not a joke. It's a serious thing, and if you take it serious, then yes, it might work out for you. If you take it serious, but there's no guarantees in this world.
Right, it's true. And when all like 50% of all marriages end in divorce, and the numbers actually
The
climbing.
leading cause of divorce is marriage, actually.
That's
Damn!
and the
You
leading cause-
failed before you began.
Right.
Remington's over here. Better get busy dying.
But the point is, marriage is nothing to like to be like, oh, never. No, that's not the case. The case is, these people are not ready for marriage. They don't understand what it like means. Like, there's some people at the shop, you know them. Like, I'm married. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, you have to. It's a partnership. You have to look at each other and say, like, you know what? I'm your equal. You're my equal.
You gotta be able to shit with the door open, and at the end of the day, still love each other.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
pretty much
There you
what I
go.
said. Yeah.
That is marriage,
Yes,
isn't
there
it?
you go. There you
He
see.
knows what he's doing.
In my opinion, I think that one of man's biggest faults is that we're never satisfied. And when you take a step back and look at things, like, I think marriage is a good answer to that. Like, people are like, I'm never gonna get married because I want to wait for the perfect girl. You're never gonna find a perfect person. So when you can just be happy and grateful and satisfied with the person you're with, then life becomes easier and it's much clearer.
Yeah, there's also like the other side of that, which is like, she'll agree to have sex with me. I think she's the one.
All right,
She's got a nice rack.
Well,
She
the
comes
fact-
into your life as a Barbie, and
Yeah.
by the time you're trapped already,
It's
she
like
becomes like
like
this
marriage
huge thing.
and marriage and like relationships and stuff. It's especially now, like, because like back like 50 years ago, like the people would get married like the person up the street, but now like everyone's on like this epic quest to find the one, and too many people, like it's like either you're looking for the one and you'll never settle down with someone who like could be good, or like you settle down with like just you made a stupid mistake. Like, why'd you settle down with that
I've made a
person? You
huge
have
mistake.
Also true.
Well, I had this conversation with Jimmy Shea where he told his wife that, like,
check out Jimmy Shea on Twitter,
Hey,
Facebook,
check
and
out Jimmy
Instagram.
Shea,
Hey,
YouTube.com/Jimmy
who's Jimmy Shea? That
Shea
sounds pretty good.
for year-old videos that he stopped making. I'm just kidding.
Throwing down disses.
Shots fired.
Hashtag hate Jimmy Shea. I'm just kidding. But no, he was having this conversation with his wife about, so she believes like wholeheartedly in soulmates, the idea of a soulmate. Like, I was made to love Remington Hall, and that's it. That's the only person.
This person for all my life.
We all know
Sounds like
that's
every girl.
pretty. So like we all know, I mean, a lot of people do believe in soulmates, but Jimmy, he believes like, okay, he's more of a realist, not to knock Crystal or anything, but basically he says, well, I don't believe in soulmates, but the fact that there's all these other girls in the world and I chose you is more romantic than we were just made for each other and fate had it and we were going to be together no matter what. Like the
True.
fact that you chose that one out of all the whores in the world.
Let's go Neil deGrasse Tyson on this shit.
But no, I agree with that standpoint. Like, that's almost more romantic to me that you're going to choose. I mean, also, what are the chances that your soulmate happens to go to the same high school as you? Boy, that's wet luck, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But,
I
I feel like the beginning of this conversation started with us trying to answer questions.
yes,
And like we haven't gotten to the actual answer of the question. What is relationships like?
Well,
Okay, well, what
20
is the
minutes in.
answer to
And we're
life?
all over here like, well, we can't get laid, so we use Tinder. And
Hey, I will say this as my closing statement for the relationship debacle we've started is that in my opinion, a relationship should feel like freaking Marvel team up. All right, I want that perfect ride or die superhero that can stand by me, and I don't have to worry about
you need
much.
the Electra to your Daredevil.
Exactly.
There you go.
Why not?
Or like the Iron Man to your Captain America. Oh, too soon?
Damn.
Oh. This
Damn,
podcast
Daniel.
brought to you by Captain America Civil War in theaters sometime in July. 'Cause it's got
Which side will you choose?
Yeah.
The Steve Irwin to my Stingray. So,
Savage.
so we'll keep moving along to the actual point of the entire podcast that you guys have been waiting for. The person that asked the question, he said, well, I'm going into the Marine Corps. I'm afraid that I don't know if I should continue dating this girl or if we should try to stick it out. Now, I'm gonna avoid. I'm gonna ask for your guys' opinions first.
Let me go first.
Reminds me of a good meme.
If your relationship is going to work and you want it and you both want it to work, it'll work. If you're just kind of like winging it and like I don't really know how to describe like you putting not putting effort in, but long distance is hard and it hasn't worked for me recently. So it all depends on like those two people. Like sometimes people need to be together all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Other people not so much. Like if they really want to be with each other, they'll be with each other.
Proximity is a huge deal.
It's like a disgusting symbiotic relationship like Spider-Man and Venom.
So, like, what happened with your long-distance relationship?
It didn't
not
work.
to get too far into it. Was there any, like, factors that, like, key things that kind of played out?
Well, I was about on the other side of the world, and
The land of the rising sun.
So it is tough. Like, being on okay, so here's the thing. When I first got my orders out of the schoolhouse, out of MOS school, I first got orders cut to Okinawa. And Miranda was living back in Pennsylvania. You know, let me rewind a little bit more. We had only been dating 3 months before I went to boot camp. However, like I knew in my head, I was like, she's the one. I just was so certain. I mean, everybody's certain, but like I was like, I had girlfriends before, but I was like, no, I'm certain. So we're like, all right, we're gonna try to make it work. You know, and it's hard work because you know there's always gonna be temptations. You have to really go out of your way to continue to like talk and Skype and Facebook and with the phone. Oh my God, it can almost be overwhelming. Like with relationships, I don't know if you ever had a girlfriend that just like texts way too much. Like, it's a hard balance to find, like, when do you communicate, when do you not communicate. Knowing each other's schedule. She went to college, I didn't, so I had to, like, memorize her schedule. What is that? If you guys can't see right now, Paul's got a bottle cap on his forehead. There is Guinness at the table right now. Guinness, Reds, and Land Shark. So anyway, we fast forward. I get out of MOS school. And I got orders cut to Okinawa, and my gut feeling was, well, this is not going to work out. This is over. And at the last second, I got orders cut to the Pentagon, or not the Pentagon, Defense Media Activity at Fort Meade. So me only being a 4-hour drive away from her, 100% made it easier. I mean, I know to a lot of people it sounds like crazy to drive every weekend 4 hours up and 4 hours back, but I did that for three whole years. So. I mean, if you're willing to put in the work, it can work. But there's so many factors that go into it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, but you also might suffer a lot of heartbreak. I know a lot of people that get cheated on, like a Jody. Yeah.
Jody.
Just remember, when you're in boot camp, Jody's pushing harder than you are.
Oh, Jody is pushing very hard. There was a Jody pushing very hard from Miranda.
I'm not saying this to jump on Jody's side, but hey, once they leave boot camp to do their thing, they be fucking, you know, they be doing their own thing too, and then they be surprised that Jody's doing this thing. It's like,
right,
bro,
like,
you
baby,
do your own thing
I'm
as
a
well.
grown-ass
You know?
man.
Life doesn't stop. The world
life
doesn't stop spinning
stop.
when you leave. And,
Yeah,
and like,
it's supposed to show.
there was a roommate across the hall from Miranda. She lived in co-ed barracks, and he was like trying real hard. And he was like, just because she's like, I have a boyfriend. And he's like, just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score.
Ooh, that was one
True,
of my
though.
favorites. Roll up looking like
You might go with the break.
I'm looking for Chad from the lacrosse team. Yeah, where's that motherfucker?
Chad.
So you're probably part of the Duke lacrosse team, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my God! Oh
Rapist.
God! Horrible things actually are being said today. What's a Jody Remington?
To Jody?
Yeah.
Jody's the guy that fills in for you. So you're away.
He's a
you're at boot camp.
substitute.
He's your stand.
He's the shoulder to cry on. He is the.
The goddamn third stringer.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. The third stringer. So
Where did
he's
the
guy
name
that comes
Jody
in
come from, I
and
wonder?
swoops it.
I don't know.
This is a history. You know what? Anybody out there listening should post in the comments or something what you find through research exactly where Jody came from.
Yeah. Where did
The
I don't know where the
name.
term the name Jody came from, because
It's
Jody
like the
is a
biggest
name for
pussy
people
name, I
cheating.
guess.
Sounds like a 90s like Dawson's Creek
It
freaking
does.
name or
That
something
sounds
crazy.
very 90s.
If anything, I kind of think I thought Jody was like a female name.
Yeah, that sounds
It
like a
sounds
female.
like
Yeah.
it.
Jodie Foster,
Yeah, that's true.
Jodie,
There you go. We got
Other
one Jody.
Jodie Derrick.
But anyway, to sum that up, I mean, as far as long distance, as far as relationships go in general, obviously it takes a lot of work no matter who you are, but long distance in the Marine Corps, it can work. Don't let anybody tell you it can't work, but there's so much, there's more ups and downs than you'll ever know. Like,
Yep.
it's tough.
I think
There's
you'll find
more-
out if it was real or not, you know? Because everybody thinks the
Yeah.
relationship is real. Then when it goes long distance, then that's when you really find out if it's the real deal or not.
Right.
Honestly, it is.
Yeah, it's very true.
That's what happens. And most relationships aren't. You
That's
have that
very
level of comfortability, so like you're able to work with it. But once it goes long distance, you can't really work with that anymore. Then all of a sudden, yeah, I cheated on you because you weren't around, or yeah, I cheated on you because you weren't.
I find people like religious people, or people that find religion, or people that have just like a really crazy, insane set of like morals. Not to say like we don't have morals, but like like there's some people that are just like, wow, like he's really, really like, he might not be religious, but he's like just really set in his ways. Like those people tend to do better because they have like a guide to go off of, whereas everybody else is like, yep, just try to resist, man.
It didn't work out.
I mean, personally, for me, I like a girl on her knees, but I'm not God and she ain't praying. So.
So, and then, oh yeah, what about Marines dating other Marines?
Oh my Lord Jesus.
So I could never date a female Marine who lived, or male Marine,
Equal opportunity.
who lived in the same barracks as me. If we live in the same barracks, we live in the same house. That's like a brother-sister thing to me. Like, we're together, we're a family, and I don't want to cross those bounds. Also, I don't want to like date her, then break up, and show up to field day, and have like this whole awkward, have to ignore her all the time and pretend she's not there.
Right. Yeah, so in the barracks, I mean, males and females, they live in the same set of barracks, right?
Yeah.
And that can be really weird. I know a lot of people that do date in the barracks, and they were living together in each other's barracks rooms, which is weird.
Oh, that's sweet. It's almost like your first like flat or something.
Yeah.
Or apartment,
I
I'm
can never
sorry.
date a female Marine. Let me tell you why I can't date a female Marine. Let me say this. All right, I can never date a female Marine for this specific reason. Because male Marines are already, including my own self, we're probably fucking goddamn insane to even enlist it, right? Female Marines are even twice as insane because they have zero of the rights.
That's a good
and,
point.
like,
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm not
they
saying
know
I'm
what
not
they
saying
get
I agree
into.
with that, but that's a good point because who joins the Marine Corps? People that join the Marine Corps have something to prove, or they want some glory, or they want to serve, or whatever. But they're like outgoing people.
They're all alpha personalities.
And
I
very
guess.
alpha, very alpha typically. Whether or not it's like internally or externally or what they think in their mind, they're very alpha mentality.
I don't think I'm an alpha. I think I'm just a god.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not alpha. I'm just better
It's like
than
the
all.
ultimate.
Exactly.
Anybody want to fight to the death? Like,
Yeah, why not?
Hey, after we're done with this, we can go fight to the death in the back.
Yeah,
We're not gonna play
combat
Star
on
Wars
Xbox,
after
right?
this. We're gonna arm wrestle each other and break bottles over our heads.
all right, no clothes though.
True.
True. But then that's okay. So only 6% of the Marine Corps is actually made up of women. So you have to think of all the women in the whole world that could join the Marine Corps. There's a select few, like 0.0000001%, and those ones are typically the ones that are like
Crazy.
Not crazy. They're alpha though. They're like that. They're more alpha than guys. Like I know most females are like damn dude. Like I would not go head to head with them because coming from a shop in particularly, we had like at one point I had 5 females or so in my shop. Dude, they run the world, man. They really do. So
Beyonce.
There's definitely those two alpha those two alpha personalities going head to head can be cause a lot of friction. So we covered a lot today.
And I feel like this is a very politically incorrect podcast.
It's super politically incorrect.
Oh,
Please.
Jesus.
makes for the best
This is
ratings.
not funded or
It doesn't.
encouraged by any
Yes, this is
official
not
Marine
sponsored
Corps.
by anybody. This isn't a viewpoint of the U.S. military or the Marine Corps in general. Yes, we have military sitting here, but it's just our own personal opinions and that good stuff.
Are we not just men sometimes?
I'm
Are
glad
we
that
not
we
just people?
barely. I'm glad that we barely nobody said anything horrible about female Marines. I'm
Nobody
so
said anything
happy.
horrible.
No, they're not
That's the
bad.
thing.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I love them.
So that's the thing. I'm a very big advocate for female Marines.
Yeah, of
I mean,
course,
you can't write them off. Like them being the major minority. It only takes one of them to make a bad name for the rest of them, so they get a bad rap. at times.
Exactly. And just remember, ladies, you shall overcome.
There you
And
go.
you can make a change.
We're talking. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of my videos. Have been around, women in infantry, women in combat roles, women. A lot of big part of YouTube is nobody talks about female issues for the military. So I did one the other day about tampons and
Ew.
all the guys are icky, but it's totally
I've shoved one in my nose
I'm all
before.
about
So
it.
what? It's a great hygienic tool.
Okay, that's really creepy.
But yeah,
I don't
being
mean in a
mature
creepy
about
sense,
it.
but I'm like, hey, that's all good for them,
Yeah, it's a necessary thing. I mean, the way of the future is definitely female, so it's not
So,
changing. That's for
yeah, I
sure.
mean,
No longer about race, now it's about
It's-
sex.
Now it's
yeah,
about
because I
sexual
mean,
orientation.
Sexual
the
orientation.
2 newest Star Wars movies, they had the lead. And Rogue One, the trailer just dropped. Another female British lead.
Hot
There we
fire.
go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, women
Daisy
are
Ridley,
inheriting-
still Bay, shouts out.
No
Yep.
wonder about Mumford Point Marine.
Oh, happy
That's all
24th
about,
birthday, actually. Daisy Ridley yesterday, I believe.
Ooh.
Or maybe today, I forget. Yeah.
Cool.
Is it?
Star Wars, yeah.
Wow.
Very well.
Well, anyway, guys, I think that's a good one to end it on. Please subscribe to the channel. Share the channel if you enjoy it. If you want to donate or contribute to the channel, you can find that link in the video description. If you want to send any mail at boot camp or you don't have many people to write to, or you want to send fan mail, you can send that to my P.O. box in the video description also. Yeah, if you have any comments or questions.
Don't send anthrax.
No anthrax, please.
Please sing cocaine.
Clayton died of anthrax. What happened?
Hey, you can write a string of love letters for Helton. I'm cool with that.
So I mean, like, yeah, life is good. If you guys want to find a new way to contact us, there's many avenues of approach for that.
Yeah, actually, I got a DM on Instagram asking about like
Going
COMCAM
down
and stuff,
in
and I was like, "What the
DMs.
fuck's this?" Oh yeah, I remember I do a podcast.
There you go. So if you have any combat camera questions, gear that stuff towards Paul, Dom, Gus. If you
Not
have any
Paul,
public,
he's a fucking stupid ass.
yeah, Paul's a dude. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
If you want to know what he looks like exactly like Wyborn from Coraline.
I have no idea what
I
that
have
is.
no idea
Well,
what that
so
is.
now that
There's people
He's
who
wearing
know.
a jean shirt right now.
yes.
Imagine a trash can with hair.
There you go. And imagine me as a trash can with no hair.
Welcome to the Alienating Podcast. We hope you feel comfortable. Yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Leave comments below, questions, all that stuff. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
I can see you, yes I can.